think it's running pretty quick. Israel's President Herzog will grant Netanyahu the mandate to form a government probably within 7 days. Then Netanyahu has 28 days to form a government. We do see political parties on the left unable to cross the threshold, which means definitely that he has more power, between 61 to 62 seats. So that's enough to form a government. And when we do think that he will be the next prime minister.
And how has he managed to do this after 12 years in power and then leaving under a cloud?
Well, I think the last year with what we call the change bloc or the government of change has moved people back into his area. Apparently, lots of people were not happy with the cooperation between Jews and Arabs, and they just, we had a very high voter turnout yesterday. Which meant eventually that people on the right wing went to vote in bigger numbers than usual.
And 4 elections in 5 years, can there be confidence that he'll have enough authority, enough power to remain there for a while?
So let me just correct you. It's the 5th election in 3.5 years.
Dear me.
If they have 61, it's a difficult government. 62, 63, maybe that's a better position for Netanyahu to stay in power for more than a year. We'll have to watch and see.
And what does a Netanyahu premiership mean for, say, the Palestinian situation? Is it a return to more hardline policies in that area?
Well, actually, in the last year, with the government of change, we had a decline of attacks from Gaza, but obviously from the West Bank we had more. We had big numbers of terror. But during the 12 years of Netanyahu's role, also there were terror from both directions. So on security issues, it's hard to tell at the moment. I have to tell you, if Ben Gvir, that's the new big partner for Netanyahu, will become Homeland Security Minister, then we might see a change in his party called the Jewish Power. They are looking for to be more aggressive on policing and many other subjects. So it's it's the alt-right. I have to tell you, we'll have to see how Ben Gvir is able to execute many of his promises, which went very, very far.
Has Netanyahu done a deal with his partners to say that they should change the law that will get him off the charges he's facing?
Well, he denies it, but many of his party leaders, the ministers and the members of the parliament from his own party, plus all of his coalition partners, so the rest of the 3 other parties, they all promised to cancel his trial. Last night at around 3 a.m., Netanyahu gave a whole speech which was careful. It was not defined as a winning speech because they were waiting for the numbers, but it was interesting to know that he did not mention reform of the judicial system, not last night. So not on the winning 24 hours after the meeting, but maybe in a couple of weeks they will begin to try to see how to cancel this trial. Yes, that's a possibility.
And will that be palatable to people? Because I think to people in this country, you'd think that's the one thing that politicians can't do. They can't interfere with the judiciary. If someone is facing charges, those charges have to be heard independently. Will there be a backlash if they try and cancel his trial?
There will definitely be backlash with respect to demonstrations. But once the government is in power, they can change the laws. And one of the laws they're contemplating on changing is just canceling the breach of trust and fraud in the penal code. Once you cancel that clause in the penal code, the trial just drops. This is the way it is. It's if you cancel a criminal offense that is written in the penal code, all of the proceedings that are going under that clause are just being dropped. So that's an option. He claimed during the election campaign that he's not going to do that. That he will not enact anything that is personal with respect to him. But it's I'm not sure you can really trust those campaign promises.
No, that's true. Just finally, what's the timeline now? When will we have the final count be in?
Final countdown is, we are at around 62% of the final countdown at the moment. We will probably have final results by tonight or the latest tomorrow, but I don't think so. I think it's running pretty quick. Israel's President Herzog will grant Netanyahu the mandate to form a government probably within 7 days. Then Netanyahu has 28 days to form a government. If he has indeed 62 seats, it's not too difficult for him. It will be done, I suppose, within weeks.